Hello and welcome to Mrs. Seeley's Math Video 14.1. In this video I'm going to review how to do the question number 1 from page 265. Okay, it says you'll need grid paper, but I'm okay if you do it on line paper, in your Hilroy, whatever you've got. It says miners drill a hole in the Earth's surface. They measure the temperature of the Earth at intervals of 1 kilometer. This table shows the data they collected. The 3 questions are: draw a graph to display these data. Did you join the points? Explain. Write 2 things you know from the graph. Okay, so I've copied this table just onto my paper so I have everything all in one spot, and then I can just move the textbook out of my way for now. All right, so when I'm graphing this data, I know that the left-hand column is going to be the x-axis, and that's the way it always is when data is displayed to you, and the right-hand column is going to be the y-axis. Okay, so for drawing your graph, you need to draw 2 perpendicular lines. That means they make a 90-degree angle with each other. Okay, and this one is always x-axis, this one's always y-axis. Okay, always on a graph you need 3 titles. You need to say what the x-axis is, what the y-axis is, and what the whole graph is about. Okay, this graph is about temperatures of the Earth under the surface. So I'm going to abbreviate temperature under Earth's surface as my type. In the x-axis, I must put the distance. So we'll title there distance in kilometers. And on the y-axis is temperature in degrees Celsius. And abbreviate temperature, degrees Celsius is the units. Okay, my first step would be take these numbers in the left-hand column and evenly space them out along the horizontal axis, the x-axis. 0 is always at the corner, the origin of x and y. And then we evenly space out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not so even, but oh well. Right. Now, the next thing we need to do is we need to put the right-hand column of numbers in the y-axis. Common mistake people do is that sometimes they just take these numbers and they'll put 20 and 29 and 41 and 48. But you can't actually do that because they don't go up by the same amount each time. Okay, first it goes up by 9, then it goes up by 12, then it goes up by 7, then it goes up by 11, and then it goes up by 8. Okay, so these numbers aren't evenly spaced, so they're not allowed to be the numbers that I put along my y-axis. Okay, I need to choose numbers that I'm going to put on here that are going to be evenly spaced. Can't go up by 1 each time. I don't have near enough space. I have to stretch my numbers from 0 to almost 70. If I go up by 5, I don't have enough space. I'm going to go up by 10. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. Okay, the first coordinates I need to plot on my graph are the numbers 0 and 20, coordinates 0 and 20. Okay, so I find 0 on the x-axis, I follow it up to 20 on the y-axis, and my first point is plotted there. The next coordinates I need to graph are 1 and 29. Okay, so I find 1 on the x-axis, almost to 30. It should be just under. If 30 is at this blue line, it should be just under that. Okay, next coordinates are 2 and 41. So follow the 2 up. If 40 is here, 41 is going to be just above, right there. Okay, next coordinates are 3 and 48. Here's the 3, followed up to just below the 50. Right there. Next is 4 and 59. Ooh, 4 is pretty close. 4 and just below the 60. And finally, 5 and 67. 5 goes all the way up to just below the 70. Okay, so I have plotted my points. Now I need to answer the questions. Okay, did I join the points and explain? I haven't joined them yet. Points are joined if they are connected to each other or if the data can be measured in decimals. So when I look at temperature and distance and temperature, both of those can be measured in decimals. So it is correct to join these points. There is going to be some temperature in between 1 kilometer and 2 kilometers down, and it's going to be somewhere in this range. So it makes sense to join the points. Okay, the next question asks, write 2 things you know from the graph. Well, one thing I know is that the temperature did not change by same amount. Changed in unequal increments. Okay, because every kilometer it didn't change by necessarily the same amount, but it did continually get warmer as they went down. So temperature increased with depth are 2 things I know from looking at this graph. Okay, thanks for watching this video. I will see you in the next one.